Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the protocols here just to make sure that everybody's on the same page as far as how this is going to work for OSHA 10. So the first thing is going to be somehow, whether it's through an email that we send or an advertisement that we have, or through word of mouth, people are going to find out about OSHA 10 being offered through us. So here's a quick tutorial that will walk them through the OSHA 10 training. So here, just a brief overview, things that are available. Here's the specific parts of OSHA 10 that we're doing, and then the optional parts. Now here it talks about how a school has to do an account setup. So the first thing is they have to fill out this form. So they click here, and it's going to download. Oh, open a different screen here. Here's the form. This is going to be what needs to be provided. It'll be returned to me. So name of the district or the organization, billing address, billing contact, so we have some people to talk to, how they're going to pay. So we have credit card, purchase order, and open PO. This is where they would we just charge them whenever a voucher was claimed or was administered to them, rather. So they could just ask me for them. Over here, number of licenses to purchase. So this is, let's say they do credit card, they're going to put a purchase here of 20. The instructor name, who's actually going to be working, who am I going to be working with on the individual level? And then do they want us to administer them or do they want to administer them themselves? If they want us to administer them, include a list of students and emails to receive the enrollment codes. If they're doing credit cards, they can do that right here. This is then going to get sent to me. Again, this kind of outlines the same thing. The 3 types of ways you can pay. In the next screen, this shows them how to actually access the training. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So we click here. We're going to log in. Now, a side note is students have to have accounts in this, or those accounts will be we're going to do an update in July where the students will be able to make their own accounts. So either way, they're going to have an account here. And once they get here, they're going to click Catalog, Statewide, and type in OSHA. And then over to the right, they'll click, I want to take this training. Again, this has a link to the tutorial. So if they were to find this first, they could get to the tutorial. And the setup form, the same link to the setup form. Over here, they're going to go through kind of some history of what OSHA is. And then here, the first time they log in, so if you have a voucher number, you're going to sign up right here. If you've already gone to the course once, you're going to sign up right here. I've already done this in the background for a voucher code, for an example voucher code that was sent to me. I also had given that voucher code to an email, and I'll show you that in a minute. So right here, I'm going to log in. Apparently, let me log out quick. So I'm going to click here to log in. My username was this. There's my password. So this is just your disclaimer. This gets me to the course. I've already done the first one. I'm currently working on the second one. So that is the kind of the going from learning about it to implementing it to students actually getting to this site to start taking it. In terms of some behind the scenes stuff, I'm going to go to, let me open up a new tab. So when I go to Career Safe, need to be logged out of my account. I'm going to log in with my admin account. Let's try that again. There we go. It's using the wrong password. So what's going to happen from this end, I have the voucher teacher tools. So what can happen is whenever I have vouchers, I can assign those vouchers to a teacher. I made myself a teacher using a different email, but when a teacher fills out that account setup form, I'm going to come in here and make a teacher account for them. So I can just add a teacher. Now, when I add a teacher, I can also add codes. Those codes are found right here. There's two ways we can do this. Either I can send the teacher a list of these codes. I guess there's three ways. I can send a teacher a list of these codes. The teacher can log in and administer the codes themselves. Or I can send these codes directly to a list of students that was sent to me, depending on how the account was set up on the original account setup form. Will depend on how I do that. So you can see that here I made a teacher, I gave them a code. I then, when I logged in earlier, I said I had already done this. So we can go back here. Over here, the first time I logged in, I'll go here like I'm going to start, and then it asked me for that voucher code. So that's where I put the voucher code in as the student. So these two screens are really the only thing that students need. First time and then returning. So they're going to go through that for 10 hours. They'll probably return a couple times to it. Once they're done, it outlines the industry card, the general industry card that they're going to get, and the slew of other cards that you can get. And then there's 2 questions to close out this course on our student personalized learning system. They don't have to do these last 2 questions, but doing this will actually mark the course complete. And the 2 questions are, have you completed the general training? If not, please go back and do it. Do you plan on receiving the OSHA 10 card? If not, please go back and finish the training. So if they're going to answer both of those questions yes, that means they're done. And a card will then be sent to, a card will then be sent to the teacher that they're working with based on the account setup form. I'll be able to put, let's pull that screen back up quick. So the account setup form here, I'll be able to send that, have this address in this account. So for the teacher, I'll be able to put the mailing address right there. So then whenever a student for this teacher completes their OSHA card, a card will be sent directly to that teacher. That teacher can then administer the card to the student. I think that pretty well walks through what we need to have set up. I think it's going to work well. If you have any questions or about the process, or you notice that I'm missing something, please let me know. But from my end, I think I'm ready to give this a go. We've got our first school going to purchase 20 vouchers on July 1st. So we've already got the account setup form. We're just waiting for the payment, and that's going to happen on the 1st. Then we can administer, or then we can give those to their students at the district. I appreciate everybody's help.